Hello Internet, welcome to a quick-fire tutorial on OSI model. As the title of the video suggests, this is going to be a super short video where I'm going to touch upon the key points of OSI model from the point of view of attempting in the examination, multiple choice questions or interviews. Now OSI model, as you're aware, is the governing model of networking where it tells you how the data flows from one end to the other end, from source to the destination, what all things data has to pass through to reach from source to destination. OSI model has 7 different layers. How do you remember those layers? That becomes our key point 1. To remember the names of the layers, there is a sentence that I use, which is, please do not throw sausages and pizzas away. So it starts from the first letter of each word. So we have the physical layer, then we have the data link layer, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. So this small little trick will help you remember all the layers names. The second key point is to understand classification of layers. So the first 3 layers, or the top 3 layers, are, you could say, software or OS, or these layers will interact with the kernel and shell of the operating system, so they are more of the software side of the OSI model, and the other 4 layers, the bottom 4 layers, are the hardware layers. Each of these layers will interact with a specific hardware in the networking setup. For example, transport and network layer, they work with routers. Data link layer, it works with hubs and switches. Physical layer is concerned with the cabling and the standards for transmission, for example 802.11, 802.3 Ethernet, and so on and so forth. But the key point here is to understand that the first 3 layers are software based and the next 4 layers are hardware based. Now the third key point here that I want to touch upon is the names of units of data in each layer. Now what happens is, if we think of this OSI model layer from the perspective of a sender, then the sender would type in something in its browser, and that data will be processed by the application presentation and session layer, and that data is termed as Datagram, which is a key word, and this datagram is generated by the top 3 software layers in the OSI model. Excuse me. And which is passed on to the transport layer. This datagram goes to the transport layer, and what all additional headers and footers are applied to this data in transport layer constitutes our key point number 4, additional info attached in each layer. Now this datagram is received by the transport layer, so it will add up the port number. It will specify whether it's a TCP based protocol or a UDP based protocol, a connection oriented or connectionless. So it will result datagram, and this additional info will result in a unit known as segment. Now this segment goes to the network layer, and network layer additionally attaches IP address of source and destination, and it generates a unit. So I'm talking about the unit being generated by the network layer, segment plus IP addresses of source and destination, which is the proprietary information attached by the network layer. Together they make a packet. Now this packet goes to the data link layer, which additionally attaches the MAC address and error detection and coding technique, if any, for example CRC or anything. So it results in the generation of a unit of data, which is known as frame, and this frame goes to the physical layer, and each of this subunit in a frame is converted into appropriate bits, zeros and ones, by the physical layer. So the unit is termed as bits which are transported over to the physical media or wireless media or optical media, depending upon whatever media that we're using, in the form of zeros and ones. So the bits are generated out of the system as zeros and ones, either in terms of voltages or in terms of light, or in terms of RF in the case of wireless communication. So if you talk about the key point number 4 and number 3, the names of the units are datagram, segment, packet, frame and bits, and the additional info attached is written over here. And sometimes students tend to confuse between the data units being generated at each layer. So what I tell them a trick to remember this. All these data units, they start from an alphabet which is which is chronological in the English alphabet series. So B comes first, and then F, then P, and S. So this is one trick, but otherwise if you dig deep into the OSI model, then you would not ever make a mistake, because when you talk about packet filtering, you know that packet filtering happens only at the network layer, so you cannot really make a mistake once you dig deep into this. But that was it for today's lecture. These are the quick fire points that I want each and every student studying data communication to know, at least before attempting to feature in any interview or questionnaire session. And thank you so much for watching this video and stopping by. If you liked this video, if this video helped, then please consider subscribing to this channel. This helps a lot, this means a lot. You have a good day, good life. Bye.